So yeah, I'm just gonna walk on camera, and I'll be in front of it, and then I'm just gonna sort of like just whoosh, and then can you edit that so that I just sort of appear? Cool, thank you. Hey guys, I did it. I watched the Weezer sitcom. I'm braver than the troops. That's a joke, obviously. I'm not braver than the troops. The troops have to watch the Weezer sitcom all the time. They're way braver than me. But wait, some of you who are my mom are saying, what exactly is a Weezer? Don't worry, I'm here to help. Okay, so briefly, Weezer is an alternative rock band from Los Angeles, California. They're primarily known for two things. The first is their critically and commercially successful debut self-titled album, aka the Blue Album, a record still considered by many to be a pop cultural milestone. They are second best known for never having lived up to that record ever again. They've been making music for 30 years and they've never topped the first thing they did. Consequently, they've gained a reputation as a band for nerds and losers. They're my favorite band. In the early days of the band, the failures of their subsequent projects led their frontman, Rivers Cuomo, a little weirdo who has openly fetishized Asian women in his music, to put the band on hiatus so that he could pursue a normal, everyday college experience at Harvard. Okay. Which is where this sitcom comes in. In 2016, Cuomo partnered with Psych creator Steve Franks, another artist only known for doing one thing, to create a demo pilot based on that experience. As a fan, I naturally wanted to check out the pilot and see if it was any good. And since my fiance hates Weezer, I thought I'd drag you guys along with me. So, let's go. So the pilot opens in the class of Professor Zering, who prefers to teach using the very normal method.
And your school was full of morons. Put your hand down. I've never called on a student in over 20 years of teaching. Why?
Because you're a bad teacher?
Because every time an 18-year-old speaks, the world gets a little stupider.
Fair.
But wait, what's this? Someone's late?
Oh my God, Professor Zering! Wow, it is an honor to meet you, I can assure you, sir.
Class starts at 9.
Well, that feels pretty 9 o'clocky to me.
What are we, two characters with different perspectives?
This is Will, our stand-in for Rivers, and you may have noticed that he looks a little different. And you know what? If I could go back and be hot, cool, and British in college, I would. Good for him.
Through a sudden and out-of-place montage that I assume would have become the opening credits, we learn the premise of the show. Will is a successful rock star with a hit first album, but unfortunately he's encountered writer's block and has come to school seeking inspiration.
Anyways, he's being denied entry into the class, but it's the exact one he needs to take! Oh no!
Beaten but not broken, Will marches to the dorms, where we meet our supporting cast. First up is his manager Dominic, who totally isn't Gus from Psych, played by a different actor and written less funny.
It's cuddle time. What? Bring it. Come on.
No, I'm not trying to... I'm mad at you. I'm not trying to hug you.
He basically exists to remind us that Will is potentially putting people out of jobs with his little quest, which is endearing. We also meet his roommate Walter, who seems to have accidentally wandered in from a cartoon instead of a sitcom. Oh hey, he's dead.
I might have just hacked into the university's mainframe.
You can do that.
I don't like to brag, but I am on the autism spectrum.
Hey, that's uncomfortable. Finally, there's his RA Annika, who, for reasons...
Goddamn you half Japanese girls.
I really hope she didn't have to be around Rivers too much. Her thing is being type A, which is a personality. And also means that she gets really upset when Will convinces her to take a personality test that indicates that she's in the wrong degree track.
It says I'm not supposed to be a psychiatrist, Will!
His response is that she needs to be more flexible, which is fair.
Throw a party, trash a carbon monoxide detector, have an overnight guest. Maybe one leads into the other, I don't know.
Not so much on board with that. Annika decides to throw a party to shake things up, while Will's manager returns to deliver some news, and some lines that a white man maybe shouldn't have written.
We're being sued! You gonna make me go live back with my mama! My mama beats me with her flip-flops!
Dom then tries to talk Will out of the college experience, while Will does a bit so old Jesus didn't think it was funny.
Sometimes brilliant people can be wankers, but I can handle a wanker and give that particularly big wanker. What is wrong with your face?
901.
You hear any of that?
All of it.
To be fair, they do follow it up with one of the funnier moments in the pilot.
Me, and now he's never gonna let me back in. No. Oh my God, I am so sorry.
Will wisely decides to go finish Zering's first assignment In the school fountain? OMG, I hate her! He attempts to appeal to the TA, and also tries to hit on her. Or maybe drum up interest in the party, or both.
There's a party in my dorm tonight, and the girl throwing it is really organised. I've even heard rumblings of a vegetable platter.
I actually like that ambiguity. Oh, and then Walter gets launched into the air because sometimes this show is a comedy anime. At the dorm, the party starts, but it's not going well. Will gets a Twitter notification on where to find Zering, but realizes that the kind thing to do is to stay behind and help with the party, which is admirable. He then solves the problem with money and Twitter followers, which feels like cheating.
Like, Community has a similar premise with Jeff Winger and its pilot, but the difference is that when Jeff starts at Greendale, he loses all of his power. He gets thrown into the chaos, and he loses just as much as he wins. But Will is able to solve all of his problems by being cool and rich, and that feels like a cop-out.
Anyways, after a cameo from Logan Paul, who is somehow not doing the worst thing he would do in the 2010s, Will talks to Walter about how he wants to talk to girls, but oh no, he's too nerdy! Then Will cock-blocks him.
I'll handle this.
You sent her away?
Shagging a stranger is very uncomfortable for all parties involved. I learned that the hard way, repeatedly, on many continents.
He's okay.
I assume Walter would have killed him had the series progressed.
The crew then recreates the clock tower shot from Kingdom Hearts. Annika drops some real obvious foreshadowing for anyone who's listened to the White Album.
We're just California kids.
And Walter reveals that he's known where Zering is the whole time.
Really, Walter? You've had that info on you the whole evening?
He's okay.
Yeah. Why?
Will makes it to Zering's dinner and...
I'm a student.
This guy's a student? 30? You kidding me?
Oh haha, it's so funny because that's Mr. Weezer, ha ha ha, what a twist. Will makes a genuinely well-performed speech where he acknowledges his faults but asks to be judged on the basis of his work, which is cool.
I kind of accidentally got really successful, but I didn't have a foundation. I can't do anything without being let into the humanities school. All that I ask is that you judge me on my work.
But he also pretends that helping throw the party was some big self-sacrifice.
Tonight, I did something for somebody else, which I realized I haven't done in quite a long time. Borderline selfless actions.
And again, you just called Moby, bud. Also, Will is just way too nice to everybody except Walter. For this to be his character arc, there's just no noticeable growth here.
The dinner guests disagree, though, as Rivers Cuomo leads a slow clap for... himself, basically. And wouldn't you know it, the whole experience has inspired Will to write a song. Well, to sing California Kids by Weezer, anyway, which I have to mute for copyright reasons. So, now it's just the two of us, huh? Do you want to hang out later, or... Oh? No? That's cool. Oh, also, this is the absolute worst scene in this pilot and the worst combination of writing and line reading I have ever seen. My God, this makes me so angry.
This whole college thing is ridiculous. I agree. Actually, he knows what he's doing. And I got his back, so don't call no more.
Anyways, Will has a new song and he's let into Zering's class on the condition that he gets some old music Zering made to a producer, which again, kinda undercuts the message.
I'm sorry, is my getting your class contingent on...
Look at the time.
As a fan, I am glad that I saw Detour, which I just realized is the title of this thing, and I haven't said it once until now. Ooh, I'm so good at this. But I readily recognize the problems with this pilot. It's cliche-ridden, its jokes are all old, and the biggest problem with it is that Will is just too cool and his stakes are not very urgent. I do think that Rivers has an interesting story to tell, but I feel like this pilot skips over the parts of the story that make it interesting. The vulnerability and the mistakes and the messiness of it. I went into this with a question. If there was a full season of this show after this pilot, would I be driven to watch it? Unfortunately, I gotta say, it ain't so. Yeah, my jokes aren't funny either. I'm not better than this.